What if the next coin you pull from your pocket change isn't just 5 cents, but a hidden treasure worth $15 million? A tiny metallic mystery that slipped quietly through the massive machinery of the United States Mint and into everyday circulation without anyone realizing that history had just made a mistake. Because somewhere among billions of ordinary nickels sits the legendary 2014 P 5 cents coin that collectors whisper about like a ghost story in the world of numismatics. A coin so rare and so surrounded by strange production anomalies that experts still debate how it even managed to exist, let alone escape the strict quality control systems designed to prevent exactly this kind of accident. And the story begins inside the Philadelphia Mint, where millions of Jefferson nickels were struck in 2014 using high-speed presses that stamp metal blanks with incredible force, producing coins at a pace so fast that workers sometimes describe it as a metallic thunderstorm. But within that storm, something unusual happened. A subtle misalignment in the dies combined with a mysterious alloy irregularity and an extremely rare strike condition that created a small number of coins that should never have passed inspection, coins whose surfaces carried microscopic distortions, slightly shifted design elements, and a peculiar reflective quality that hinted something extraordinary had occurred during the moment of impact when the blank planchet met the dies. And at first, these coins looked ordinary to the untrained eye, just another Jefferson nickel sliding down a counting machine or rattling inside a cash register. But to trained collectors, these tiny anomalies are like fingerprints left behind by the minting process, clues that reveal the hidden story of how a coin was born. And in the case of the 2014 P 5 cents anomaly coin, those clues tell a story so bizarre that some experts believe the coin may have been struck using a transitional die pair that was never supposed to be used for circulation coins, while others believe a test strike accidentally slipped into production when experimental die calibration was being conducted, and the possibility that such a coin escaped into circulation sent shockwaves through collector communities, because when a coin carries a combination of rare strike errors, perfect preservation, and historical curiosity, its value can explode beyond imagination. And that is exactly what happened when rumors began spreading that a pristine example of the mysterious 2014 P nickel had surfaced in a private collection and was quietly evaluated by top numismatic graders, who immediately realized they were looking at something almost mythical, a coin whose surface revealed faint doubling in the lettering, a microscopic shift in Jefferson's profile, and an unusual luster pattern that suggested the planchet may have been struck under slightly different pressure conditions than standard nickels. And as experts examined it under magnification, they noticed something even stranger: subtle die polishing lines in areas where they should not exist, a sign that the die itself might have been part of an experimental preparation process, meaning the coin could represent a rare moment in mint history when a test configuration accidentally entered mass production. And if that theory is correct, it means only a handful of these coins could possibly exist, perhaps fewer than a dozen scattered somewhere across the world, hidden in jars of spare change, forgotten inside coin rolls, or sitting unnoticed in drawers where people toss loose coins without a second thought. And that possibility is what turns an ordinary nickel into a $15 million dream, because collectors know that rarity is the ultimate fuel of value, especially when rarity is wrapped in mystery and controversy. And the market reaction to the rumored discovery was immediate and electric, with collectors scouring bank rolls, coin dealers fielding frantic calls, and online forums lighting up with speculation about how many examples might exist and whether another one could still be hiding in plain sight. Because history has shown that some of the most valuable coins in the world were once dismissed as ordinary pocket change before someone looked closer, and the psychology behind these hunts is powerful, a blend of hope, obsession, and the thrilling possibility that a life-changing discovery might be sitting unnoticed in your own hands. And as the legend of the 2014 P nickel spread, stories began emerging of collectors examining thousands of coins under bright lamps and magnifiers, searching for the telltale signs of the anomaly strike, the slightly shifted details, the peculiar reflective glow, the faint doubling that hints at the rare die configuration. And every time a collector thinks they might have found one, their heart begins racing, because the difference between a 5-cent coin and a $15 million artifact could come down to a detail smaller than a grain of sand. But the rarity of the coin is intensified by another brutal reality of modern minting: the silent destruction of billions of coins through circulation, wear, and industrial recycling. Because coins that become damaged, bent, or excessively worn are routinely removed from circulation and melted down to recover their metal. Meaning that if any of these rare anomaly nickels entered circulation in 2014, many may already have vanished forever, erased from existence before anyone realized what they were. And that silent destruction makes each surviving specimen unimaginably valuable, turning the hunt into a race against time as collectors attempt to identify examples before they disappear forever into the furnaces that recycle ordinary currency. And the more experts studied the rumored specimen, the more fascinating its story became, because certain surface characteristics suggested the planchet might have experienced a brief delay during the striking process, a phenomenon known among specialists as a microstall strike, where the press momentarily pauses at peak pressure, allowing the metal to flow differently than normal and creating unique surface textures that cannot be easily replicated. And if that interpretation is correct, it would make the coin not just rare but physically unique. A frozen moment of mechanical imperfection captured forever in metal. And collectors love these moments because they represent the unpredictable intersection of technology and chance. Proof that even the most precise industrial systems can produce beautiful accidents. And when such accidents occur on modern coins, they often remain unnoticed for years, because people assume new coins cannot possibly be rare. Yet history repeatedly proves the opposite, from transitional metal errors to experimental die strikes that escaped mint vaults. The numismatic world is full of stories where the smallest oversight created treasures worth fortunes, and the idea that a humble 2014 nickel might join that legendary list is what fuels the excitement. Because unlike ancient artifacts locked away in museums, this coin might still be circulating somewhere in the real world, passing quietly from one hand to another, while its true value remains hidden. And imagine the moment someone finally recognizes it. Perhaps while sorting through a jar of spare change on a quiet evening, noticing the strange shine, the tiny design shift, the subtle details that don't quite match a normal coin, and realizing they might be holding a piece of minting history that collectors have been desperately searching for, a discovery that could transform an ordinary day into the most unbelievable moment of their life. Because a $15 million coin doesn't just represent wealth, it represents the triumph of curiosity and attention to detail. The reward for someone who looked closely when everyone else looked away. And as the legend continues to grow, more collectors are joining the hunt, examining every 2014 P nickel they encounter, studying die markers and strike characteristics, comparing notes with fellow enthusiasts, because the possibility that another example exists keeps the story alive, and every year that passes without another confirmed discovery only increases the tension and the value, since scarcity drives the market higher and higher as collectors compete for the chance to own a piece of numismatic folklore. And this is why experts always warn never to underestimate the coins in your pocket, because sometimes history hides in the smallest places, waiting for the one person curious enough to notice. And the 2014 P 5 cents anomaly has become a symbol of that truth, a reminder that the world of coins is full of secrets still waiting to be uncovered, secrets that could change someone's life in an instant. So the next time you receive a nickel and change, don't just spend it without looking, examine it carefully. Study the details, because the coin everyone else ignores might be the one collectors would pay $15 million to own. And if you love stories like this and want to stay ahead of the next hidden treasure waiting to be discovered in everyday change, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and keep your eyes open, because the next legendary coin discovery could happen when you least expect it, and it might already be sitting quietly in your pocket right now.